Are you in survival mode? Or do you feel overwhelmed? Just tired with honestly your adult life? I want to tell you this because oftentimes we become overwhelmed and you don't really know who to turn to. Yes, you could tell a friend, but you realize if I tell that friend, how is that going to help me move forward? And oftentimes, will that friend be overly critical? So while I came to them with open arms and vulnerable, I may have just set myself back. Bottling it up, walking around just like a ticking time bomb makes it even harder because you realize that who else is facing this? But the fact of the matter is, many are facing the same stresses. Maybe it's coming from different areas, and the pressure is what's really getting to people. Financially speaking, what's happened to that core piece of our economy, the middle class, to where everybody's looking around to where there's really only two options. There's no middle of the road. You're either rich or you're poor. And the fact of the matter is, it's could you say it's accumulation of many decisions? One could point that way. But the ultimate thing is not realizing that a life without investing can put you in a bad spot. So even if you didn't necessarily make a wrong decision, the economy took a turn differently, and somehow you're affected by those decisions. Every day, help many people try to navigate these questions and uncertainty, try to figure out their options. And the one thing I will say that's consistent is even in your worst times, there's always been at least one solution that comes up. I don't say this to be overly optimistic, but just looking at the natural cause. Somehow you woke up the next day and you got a little bit further day after day till you was past whatever that original problem was. There was a time where things were tough. And if you don't believe me, I suggest you go talk to friends. I suggest you look at old Facebook messages or even what was that old platform we all used to be on. But look back at your messages when you were 19 or 20, and you will see that you were writing with some of the same pressure that you may be feeling now. The fact of the matter is, I want to open you to moving in more different ways. Moving in a way that you understand that there's more that you need to consider in a decision than what's in front of you. Moving to where you elevate what's going on in your mind to a healthy fashion, not just on your outlook on your life, but it actually will enhance the relationships around you. To do this is going to cause and require a lot of effort every single day. Much like if you have to get up and go to the gym every single day. It's tiring. You have to eat right too. That sucks. But if you don't have that habit of at least exercising in some form of fashion in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, it makes living in your 50s, 60s, and 70s a lot more difficult. The same thing can be said about your money. I know I sit in a very, very healthy place. And that's not to look down on anyone else, but it's also not to say that I can't relate to where you are. It's tough to get up and go work and knowing you don't, even after you go to work and you worked hard and you gave your best effort at that job, or that you showed up, it doesn't really matter. You gave some energy, you gave a lot of energy and time to that job, and yet you still can't meet the demands of just your needs. We're not talking about things you desire. You still can't seem to make it connect where ends could meet. That's not what you're expected, and that's not what we have been taught is fair. If you work hard, you make honest days check. Your honest days check should pay your honest days bills. But now you're in a different situation where doing whatever is basic or whatever is expected still isn't good enough. Doesn't this seem overwhelming? That's a lot to be overwhelming about. On top of, if you're a parent trying to raise and support your kid, understanding that you don't have the time to really dedicate and support them like you would want to. Try to help them develop the skills they need so that they can be fruitful, productive adults. In addition to navigating the emotional roller coaster that is life that gets thrown at you every day. Parents are sick. and ill or getting older. Friends may be passing. Friends may be divorcing. Someone may have lost a child. Things are happening rapidly in the world around you, on top of you trying to navigate your own problems and solutions. And if you don't put enough care to others' concerns, you're looked at as selfish from a pressure standpoint. I say all this to say that I'm going to agree with you that life is hard. Life is extremely difficult. And while you may want to watch something that makes you feel good on social media and watch somebody else's life, no one's escaping the fact that life is difficult. It's tough to navigate because you're trying to make the right decision. And even when you think you make the right decision and it doesn't quite work out how it's planned, there's still a process of difficulty in order for you to get to that good solution. What I want you to understand is really look at what is going to help me stand strong in my situation. I can't oftentimes control if my job is going to get a raise, but I can control if I show up to work and give my best effort. If that job is no longer suiting my needs, I can control looking at what other options do I have. Can I look outside the job to upskill myself? Can I educate myself? Yes, to do all these things, that means I'm likely going to be more tired. And I'm likely not going to be able to give my 100% to my kids, to my family, to my friends, whatever the case may be. But in all those true love relationships, one thing will be certain, that if you feel any amount of guilt for anything, only thing you can tell them is, or what you should do from a friendship, parent, all that, bring them in and say, hey, these are things I'm trying. This is what I'm battling with. And as a consequence, I can't be there for you in this capacity. If you like, won't remove guilt, but hopefully that person on the other side will have some understanding. And though it may be difficult, look for ways that they can support you in your journey. Ultimately, when what is said that you have to make decisions that are going to be best for you, no one said those decisions are going to be easy. And that's the piece that you have to understand that is true. No matter if you go the right way, no matter if you're looking to do the best thing for yourself, it all is difficult, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally, intellectually. It's all going to be difficult. There's no result where you get to celebrate where it wasn't hard going through the process. So, what did I actually make this video about? I made this video because life is hard. But I want you to understand that just this time right now could seem like it was the most difficult, but it's not been the only difficult time in your life. You've had other times where it seemed like day after day, more is being poured on you. And somehow you got to this point. So that means you got past whatever difficulty and challenge you had back then. So I would offer you, you're going to get through this next point, and you're probably going to run into something that's even more difficult. But in each process, the thing that is consistent is you get through it. Hi, my name is Jonathan. I want to help you build your wealth. No one said this thing is going to be easy. But guess what? You can actually make it through. Follow me for more.